This USB charger cost me $2 and it can convert 12 to 24 volts to 5 volts and 2.1 amps. And that is a bit strange because on the front of the thing, I don't know if I can focus on it, but yeah, it says 1 amp on one port and 2.4 at the other. So how does it output 2.4 if it can only output 2.1? That's a bit interesting. So yeah, a lot of things missing from this. This is the cheapest, simplest, barely functional thing. I will have to test the actual output. People on the internet have been saying that it can... hey, something wrong with the white balance. People on the internet are saying that it can only do like 1.5 amps. But what I looked up, again, this white balance, focus, what are you doing? I looked up on this part on the internet, the chip LC51BH. This can, it could output 2.4 amps, no problem. So there must have been some miscommunication or something when they were printing the front plate or when they were printing the instructions, specifications, something. So yeah, I don't know yet how it works, but I took it apart because I want to connect it to a 12 volt power source and have a normal charger from a normal power socket, and a 12 volt adapter will go into this. I could potentially use a laptop charger or anything else that outputs between 12 and 24 volts. That can also be a power tool charger or lots of different things. I have a old adapter here. This is for an electric screwdriver. It outputs 18 volts, so this would be good also. The most important thing is that it needs DC, direct current. So I have a few of these power supplies that are AC. I don't know which devices use them, but yeah, those don't work with these kinds of electronics. You need DC. And this is analog. I don't know if it specifies it. Nope. Input. It doesn't say it's switching. What? Intertech. It's got a thermal fuse, and this is the model. DC. It doesn't say if it's switching or analog, but usually if it has a large transformer like this, it's analog. So what I'm going to do in this short video is just to connect this plug salvaged from an old network switch, which is 100 megabit. I have like 10 of those and have no use for them at all. Perfectly working, but yeah, I just took out the power plug. So what I imagined is I'll just solder two thicker wires that will make this, that will connect it this way, and maybe I'll put it in a box of some sort. But for now it's not very dangerous because it's only 12 volts, so even if I short it out, the power adapter has safety features, and this also should have safety features, at least the chip. LED, capacitor, whatever this is really simple. Well, one last thing I want to mention about this specific charger is that the two USB ports are soldered together. So what they are saying here on the plate, it can't apply. It's impossible to have one port with only 1 amps and the other 2.4 because they're basically soldered together. This is the positive side. They are just soldered to one lead, and this is the negative side, and they are also soldered together. So the full power, whatever that may be, that is delivered to both ports and most likely divided equally between them. I don't know exactly how it works, it depends on the device you're plugging in, but should be equally divided. If you plug in two phones, then they get maybe 1 amp each. So let's just get some wire and solder it to the negative and positive and to the plug. So yeah, some solder. Let's solder it. So I'll only use one color, I don't care. Let's see where can we find a good grounding. This is the positive and this is the negative. Right here? Why did it come over here? So close to the positive. It has no business being there. In the original casing with this piece of metal, the negative was connected to the outer casing of the ports. So here, like that, and these things would stick out on the sides and they would make contact. So this is the negative, but I don't know why they brought it here back. Just for the capacitor to filter some noise, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, I will solder it there to avoid complications. Maybe here. What is there? Some other, a diode. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I just don't want to short out the power supply. So here will be the negative. Like that. Beautiful. So this has to go to right, to the side. Perfect. Hopefully it won't touch the other things. So it will just go there. Bend it a little. And right there. That's perfect. So that's the negative and the positive will go directly there. That's perfect. So let's cut this. What did I use? Woo. So how long does it have to be? Like that, like that. Okay, cut it. And let's have some solder. And I hope it doesn't hurt anything if it closes when the power supply is not connected. It shouldn't matter. Yeah, like that. I have to be able to heat up the pad too. So carefully, gently. Yeah, it heated up, and a crappy job. Very crappy. Yeah, that's bad. I need some more solder. So yeah, this is a perfect example of bad soldering, when the solder doesn't flow all over the wire, just part of it. This part is bare. In theory, it should be fine, but I want to redo it. Add more solder, at least, if I don't even redo it. Yeah. Now it covered it. Okay. Now it's good. I mean, yeah, good enough. It doesn't break off. So, yeah, that's all I wanted. So the distance. I will bend this like that and back to make it come closer a bit. Not too close. This is... Oops! What did I do? Did I twist that? What? Did I imagine it? Strange. Whatever. I thought I twisted the leg of the capacitor. But it's... yeah, whatever. I don't really care. I don't know what I saw. I will test the continuity. Hopefully I didn't break it. So yeah, another piece of wire. Let's get another piece of wire. Which will be from here to there. So it has to be really short. Like that. Put some solder on it. There. Oh, it can hang, it can be longer this way. So I'll solder this part first. Hopefully. This is the positive. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I left the wires bare. I could have kept the insulation. Whatever. This was kind of stupid, but it doesn't really matter. So I'll just solder it there. It's close, it's not close enough. Get lower, like that. But it must stay away from the other stuff. So yeah, let's cut it. It must stay away from the negative. So maybe I'll put some insulation under it, just to be sure that in time it won't rub the transparent insulation on this. How do you call it? What do you call it? Again, I messed up. But it's not so bad. It kind of covers the wire, but not completely. Let's try again. On camera, so you can catch me if I do it wrong. Yep. Now it's okay. The solder covered it, and it's held on tight. And yeah, one thing I will have to figure out, if this chip heats up. If this is heating up when I'm charging a phone with a big battery, then I'll have to put a cooling, like a heat sink on it. Nothing else will heat up, I don't think. That's the only part that can heat up. Yeah, so that's how this cheap $2 charger can become, how do you call it? What do you call it? When it's 5 volts and 2 amps. That's fast charging. And quick charging is when the voltage is higher, 9 or 12 volts. Yeah, so this is fast charging. Yeah, $2, and I connected to a nice 12 volt power supply that is very dependable, not some Chinese crap that could send 200 volts to your phone. That I want to avoid that. At the same price, I could have bought 240 volt charger at $2, but for some reason I don't trust it. I don't trust that they have the voltage reduction at that cheaper price and can output 5 volts at 2 amps. I don't really believe it. So yeah, that's it. So just a quick follow-up. I will test this charger, not with anything important, just with a bad USB mouse. This has reliability issues. Some buttons don't work after a while. So yeah, it doesn't matter if I burn it out. So let's plug in a 12 volt analog power supply. So this probably outputs like 14 volts if I measured correctly, but it should work with this adapter. I plug it in and voila! Haha, yeah. The LED illuminates and the mouse also works. Nice. And if I take it out, ooh, the ports are not that stable here. I have to watch out for that. If I take it out, yeah, the LED still stays on. That's interesting. I don't know why they did it like that. So you won't forget that it's plugged in? Okay. This one? Whoa. Man, I will just plug in the cables here and leave them there, because this is very hard to plug in and take out. I will break the circuit board. So yeah, this works. The cheap $2 charger.